Hey everyone, Father Scott Vanderveer here with the third installment of Rediscover Jesus. We read about a lot of things in this section, but one of them is this idea of maintaining possession of ourselves and our spiritual journey, not allowing ourselves to be drawn away from the path that God calls us to by whims or impulses or currents that are not coming from God and may be beyond our control. So the first thing that comes up in this is the idea of being careful about what we look at. And the second part of that is being careful about what we're thinking about. First, what we look at. There is an old-fashioned custody that is talked about in traditional Catholic teaching. It's called the custody of the eyes. The custody of the eyes is an idea that if you want to keep yourself pure from violent thoughts, if you want to not be overly influenced by violence, don't look at violent things. Don't look at violent images. Don't watch violent movies. If you want violence to not be infiltrating your inner life, keep custody of your eyes. The same thing is true about sexual images. Don't look at profane or pornographic images. Maintain custody of your eyes. Don't allow your eyes to take in images that are going to affect your sense of purity. That's also something that we do when we're trying to be careful of respecting each other's dignity. We don't look at each other's bodies in a way that promotes lustful thoughts. Custody of the eyes means make sure your eyes are under your control. Don't be looking at things that wind up producing impure thoughts within yourself. Violence and sexualized images are good examples of this. The same thing is true with our mind. We have to maintain custody of our minds. A lot of us suffer from anxious thoughts. Others of us nurse angry thoughts. Still others of us nurse thoughts about the past, guilt thoughts, shame thoughts, hurt thoughts. And all of us experience some of it at certain times in our life because it's a human thing to be hurt, to be angry, to be anxious. But we have to maintain custody of our minds. We don't want our thoughts to be running our show. Our thoughts are often like a screen, a movie screen on which we see all of this information, all of these images and stories being played all day long. It's not good for us to be at the whim of these images, these stories, this storyline. We have to be able to say at times when we're in the middle of an anxious thought, whoa, I'm getting carried away by anxiety right now. The thoughts that I'm having are very distressing, but they're actually harmless. They're just thoughts. There's no danger here. For us to be able to name, I'm having an anxious thought and it's making me feel like there's imminent danger, but there's no danger here, is a powerful way for us to maintain custody of our minds. Being able to recognize, I'm experiencing an angry thought right now. The anger that I'm feeling is bringing up all of these emotions inside of me. I'm gonna maintain custody of my thoughts by not indulging all of the anger about this. If I'm angry about something going on in politics or in my community or in a relationship with someone, I can honor that I have anger about that. I can honor that if I let myself think about it, I can come up with all sorts of emotion behind it. But I choose not to. I maintain custody of my mind. And then custody of our thoughts about our hurts and our past moments of guilt or shame. To say, this is something that happened in my life. This is something real. But I don't choose to dwell there in the darkest depths of it all. I recognize that I'm powerless to change the past. And so God, I ask you to grant me the serenity to accept the past that I can't change. Give me courage to do what I can today to live differently, and give me wisdom to know the difference. Maintaining these custodial attitudes about our thoughts, being conscious of the importance of not giving in to overly anxious thoughts, overly angry thoughts, overly shame-filled, guilty, or hurtful thoughts. If we can give ourselves a little bit of a break from that, we can do what it says in Scripture in St. Paul, put on the mind of Christ. We can think about all that is true and good and beautiful. We can remember that although things that makes us anxious and angry and hurt are real, they're part of life, they're no more real than things that make us feel serene and calm and grateful and joyful. As St. Paul says, think on these things. Maintain custody of your thoughts. Custody of our eyes and custody of our thoughts is something that allows us to put on the mind of Christ and maintain more serenity in the midst of so many things in life that we can't control. May you allow Christ and Christ's way of thinking to take possession of your mind and heart and maintain custody of your eyes and your thoughts. May God bless you all.